Welcome everyone to the Turbo Ether News, where we're going to get right into it. And the first bit of news I want to kick off with is, can you believe it, folks? Another Pokemon.
I can believe it, alright.
Pokemon Sun and Moon, that is. Talk about the worst kept secret, as it got leaked out the day before. Somebody's getting fired at Nintendo for that.
You think so? Is it the same person who leaked the Ryu?
Yeah.
Super Smash Brothers? Because that leaked too. That's the last leak I remember happening from Nintendo. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was just...
What's up? What's up? They can't keep their stuff in the... Can't keep their stuff in lock?
No, apparently not. Apparently there's somebody, a mole within the insider. But that is not what I'm really here to talk about. The thing is this is a new game. They did a direct for it, and it was probably the shortest direct ever. And on that note, like, they also mentioned some other things where they mentioned that the Pokebank... Are you familiar with the Pokebank?
I have not played a single Poke game.
Oh man, shame on you. Well, pretty much the Pokebank is where you can store all your characters for a small fee, I believe each year. Very small fee. And basically you can transfer these 700 plus Pokemon throughout multiple games. They just announced that the digital virtual console release of Red, Blue, and Yellow will allow you to access the Pokebank. So
okay, so your classic original OG 151 Pokemon can be played in Sun and Moon?
Yes, that is correct. So that, for the old school players like me, it's something to be excited about for sure.
What's the last Pokemon game you played?
I played Pokemon X, thank you very much. Did I play any of the ones in between? No, I didn't.
So you're looking forward to this one?
I am, because I really enjoyed, like, X gave me a little revival in how I felt about the world of Pokemon.
Well, speaking of Nintendo, since we're on that Nintendo wave, there was a recent report actually from GameSpot that the developer behind Ori and the Blind Forest, do you remember that game? The independent game that came out in 2015, I believe?
I have that game.
Yeah, kind of had critical acclaim. Well, they're saying that the Nintendo NX is being too secretive about their specs, their hardware, pretty much how you develop for it. Now, in the past, Nintendo has had problems with Wii and Wii U kind of pushing back third-party developers, and you didn't see as many third-party love on either machine, really, even though Wii had the install base, but you just didn't see many third-party developers making meaningful games for it. So do you think the NX is going to have that same problem if they're already being secretive off the bat?
I don't think so. I mean, they talk about the graphical prowess of the system. Now, as far as the architecture, we made mentions earlier off the air, I think it may not be as complex as it is with the Wii U. I'm not entirely sure why it would be so secretive, but I think they just want to kind of keep things under wraps until E3, until the news drops at E3. But
unless you think they have like a super gimmick that they don't want to spoil by letting all these small-time developers out there.
Man, I hope
that could be it. They could have another tab, motion control, nunchuck thing going on. Combination of everything.
Please don't. Please just have a regular system.
Yeah, I'd like to hope they don't have like another gimmick planned that is gonna... That's why they're keeping it under wraps, because they don't want stuff to leak out, which it seems like they've been having some issues leaking out.
Well, the biggest thing about these particular gimmicks, as you would say, is that it just gets the internet really riled up, and probably including yourself. Me, in a different reason, because I'm a hopeless optimist when it comes to this particular company. So I just hope that it's able to get the third-party support that they are dying for.
Well, before we move on to our next topic, I'm going to call it from now. Their gimmick this time is VR. They're jumping on the bandwagon full force.
Hey,
they're digging back up the Virtual Boy. It's going to be a red and black, ugly 3D type thing, peripheral that you put on your head, and they're going to bring that back.
Well, I guess the one perk would be is that it would cost cheaper than all the other ones, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yes, we will. So speaking of, Capcom has just announced a bundle of Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 that's coming out, being re-released for the PS4 and Xbox One. And is there any love for 5 and 6 at this point? Because I think 4 has been re-released so many times that I think the novelty on that one is kind of worn out. I mean, Does anybody even care for 5 and 6 at this point? It's just got progressively worse and worse.
It has. I mean, the only redeeming quality for 6 was just the very beginning, the very first act of the game was the most redeeming, because it kind of went back to its roots.
Who was that with? Was that with the Leon campaign?
Yeah, that was the Leon campaign, yeah.
Yeah, and I like some sections of when you were in China in part 6, that was okay. But other than that, it was kind of a train wreck.
Usually we like to save the last bit of news as a little bit of quirky. This isn't too quirky, but it's a little out there. So the HTC Vive has a price drop of $799.
Wow, and for those who don't know, the HTC Vive is what?
It is the headset that's being released by Valve.
Wow.
It's a team up between HTC and Valve. So it's Valve's answer to virtual reality.
So for just the headset, it's $800?
Oh, well, hold up. It's not just the headset. It's the headset, the 2 controllers, the 2 lighthouse things, and a camera. And 2 games, actually. So...
But then you still need a super powerful computer to run all this.
Yeah, you do. You need at least a built by yourself, a $1,200 computer, at the very least a $1,500 computer if you buy it from a manufacturer.
So bare minimum, you're looking at like $2,000 to get in on the VR game, if according to Valve.
Yeah, that is correct.
A little ridiculous.
It is. But you know what? Like, I think Oculus already kind of took the thunder as far as the negative responses, because when people heard this drop, they were a little bit more receptive to it, because I think Oculus kind of was happy that it was a little bit more, because it made them look a little bit cheaper as far as like price range goes.
Yeah, I mean, just look at Xbox One revealing $500 at E3. What was it, whenever that came out, like 2 years ago, and then Sony came out right after that. I was like, nope, $400, and everybody was like, well, that's a steal, $400.
Yeah, but I think the biggest issue with the price, as far as that goes, is the Rift price that Oculus had. Like, they kept telling people, you know, it might be in the 300 range, and then when it came out to 6, people were like, that wasn't the range people were looking for. Like, it was definitely not. It just goes to show, like, this wasn't affordable. This is not going to be affordable technology right now. No, maybe down the line, but, you know, if you want to adapt...
Plus, people don't know what to even do with it, or its benefits, or if they're even going to use it, or what's compatible with it. There's just so many unknowns, and to jump on it first generation is just absurd. Which is why a lot of even Apple fanboys, they stay away from first generation products, because they always know that by the time the second one comes around, it's always going to be better and cheaper.
Yeah. No, that's a valid point. But you know what? As I've always wanted to be an early adopter, but you know what? It just goes to show.
An $800 early adopter?
Yes, it might be more, because all my parts need to be upgraded at this point.
This guy.
Yeah, but that is besides the point. I just want to be that guy that goes like, back in my day, I tried the first virtual reality. You know, like I wanted to be that. I want to be that old man. So
yeah, so why don't you go out and buy a Virtual Boy from Nintendo then?
No, because I didn't, and I didn't want that. But
you said you wanted to be first. That was the first on the block, son.
That was the first on the block. But you know what I did to calm those craves? I actually went to Kmart and demoed it from there, and then had blinding headaches afterwards.
Yeah. So, you millennials won't know what that is.
Yeah, absolutely not. What a Kmart is. All right, on that note, folks, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Like this video, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and follow us at the Turbo Ether, and like us on Facebook, facebook.com/TurboEther. And on that note, take care, and may the Triforce be with you. Fucking virtual reality.